Hello everybody, welcome to Results Mastery. It's great to have you here. We're live today. My name is Steve Mills and I do this literally every day. So it's great to have you here. I appreciate your time. This is a little bit of a longer one. We turned this into not only LinkedIn Live, but we're also live on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. I think we're actually live on about 2 or 3 different groups on Facebook. Of course, we're also live, and welcome, I nearly forgot you guys, on my podcast, my Results Mastery podcast. So that goes live on iTunes, on Amazon Music, and about 30 other streaming sites. So altogether, we get somewhere between about 7,000 and 8,000 people. Can you believe that? It just blows me away, to be honest. My point in telling you that is not because, I'm so great. It's that, like, technology and the way we use it. If we use it in the correct way, it's fantastic. I know a lot of people are going, oh, well, I'm not really a technical person. Do you know what? Neither am I. But I've managed to work out how to set all this up so it happens automatically. And once you start, I call it playing, but, going and having a look round, you'll be amazed at what you can do. And it's a really, I think, an important thing right now in business that, we don't just, use that excuse. I'm not technical. I don't understand LinkedIn. I don't get digital marketing. I hate computers. I hate social media. All those things are irrelevant. They don't matter what the day I retire, I'll close all my social media down, possibly with the exception of Facebook, where I'm connected to a few old of my table tennis buddies. But apart from that, I just close it down because I'm not interested in it. What I am interested in is growing my business, creating more leads, creating more meetings, creating more sales. And so, if you're interested in that, then you're in the right place. So, just give you a 30-second background of me. I've been doing this been helping small businesses to grow for just over 28 years now. And in that time, you can imagine how the world of marketing has changed. It's, unbelievable, the difference now. Years ago, if I wanted to get a marketing message out to 7,000 people, that involves 7,000 envelopes, 7,000 letters, 7,000 stamps, and several trips to the post office. Now I can do it virtually for free. I can do it online. I can do it from my own office, and I can do it, right across the world, literally. So, we got people in all parts of the world here today, and, that's fantastic. So, really good to hear. If you want to comment at all, please feel free to do so. Just got a message from Ryan saying he's got his pen and paper at the ready. So thanks, Ryan. And you will have loads of things to take down, I'm sure. So you're not here to hear all that sort of stuff, I know. What you're here for is the subject of the conversation, which is unlocking success, elevating your sales and marketing results. Which for me, I just want to make a point that what you call something is really, really powerful in marketing. If I'd have called it how to improve your marketing, would you be here today? If I'd have gone a little bit more specialist and gone how to improve your LinkedIn advertising, would you be here today? But for whatever reason, the title and the words, if you read them, which typically people don't, are the things that attract people. So, I look on websites. The reason I mention this is that I look on websites and they have a really exciting title like About Us or our services. How many pages do you see on websites that have a page called Our Services? Couldn't you think of anything more interesting than saying Our Services? Not only is it rubbish in front of people, it's terrible in front of Google. Because where does Google put a page called Our Services? It's got no idea. Are you a plumber or an accountant? It doesn't know. So, it's far better to put plumbing services or accountancy services, which is still a bit boring, but at least you'll get picked up more effectively by Google. So, there's my first tip there. Okay, so I've got a list of things I'm going to try and get through. We've got about half an hour or 25 minutes left, and I'm going to try and get through them, and we'll see how we go. If I don't get through them all, then, I'll have something to talk about tomorrow. As simple as that. So, first thing, number one, and it is number one, I believe, in terms of the mistakes that I've seen working with thousands of businesses for 28 years. It's also number one in terms of arguably the most important thing you can do. There's actually two really big ones, and I'll talk about both of them today. So the first one is measuring. Right? If you want to grow your business from where it is now, there are certain KPIs, key performance indicators, that will help you go from where you are to where you want to be. They could be things like the number of meetings you get, the number of inquiries that come in, where those inquiries come from, the number of calls you make, the number of contacts you've got, how big your email database is, how many contacts you've got on LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. And if we get going with, how many people come to your website, which pages are they coming to, all these things make a difference, because if we could improve them all by, 2%, 10%, even, I've helped people to improve by 50%, 200%. But if we could all improve everything that we do, we could really make significant improvements. Some of you know that years ago I used to play table tennis at international level. I was a full-time player. Played for 10 years professionally, and in that time I learnt lots of things, and I learnt things from some of the world's best players. I used to spend time around a lot of the best players, certainly in the UK, and it's a great way of learning, by the way, to learn from people who have either learnt from successful people or people who are at the top of their field. And anyway, I learned that if you can improve, back in my day, my serve, my backhand, my forehand, my footwork, my topspin, my all the different my diet, my weight, my strength, my flexibility, these are all KPIs to a table tennis player, just like the ones I mentioned are to a business. And the only way of getting really good is to focus on each individual thing. Not maybe all of them at once, but say, right, at the moment we're focused on LinkedIn. That's what we're going to focus on. Or at the moment we're focused on how can we get more people to our website. Whatever it is for you, it is. But number one is definitely measuring. With all the cliches, you cannot manage what you do not measure. Another one would be the numbers are the currency of business. And it's not just your financial numbers, obviously they're really important, but it's also your marketing numbers and your sales numbers. They're arguably equal important, even more so in a way. Because if you want to go whatever you are right now, if you want to improve, there are only really two ways you can make more profit in your business. And that's the objective of any business, even if it's a charity, to make more profit. So how are you going to do that? Well, you can reduce sales and you can increase sales. Sorry, I said that wrong. You can reduce costs, not reduce sales. That's not right, Steve. You can reduce costs and you can increase sales. That's a better version. So, right now you could probably save yourself 5%, 10%, 20% of your costs. That's great, but it's limited. There's only so much you can save. But how much could you increase sales? Literally to whatever level you want. That's the truth. So, great to go and save money. Go and do do that. Look at some of the things you can save. But step 2 then is how can you increase sales? And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So the second thing I've got on my list is niching. Okay. A lot of people come to me and I say, well, what do you do? And they tell me what they do. And then I say, right, who do you do it for? They go, well, we work with anybody who wants us, any business. Now, my question to you is this. Would you prefer to have a generalist or a specialist? Now, if I came to you and I said, let's say, for example, you're a lawyer, all right? You're a lawyer. And I'm an accountant, and I come to you and I say, hi, I'd love to be working with you. I know you need a new accountant. I've been in the accountancy industry. I work with small businesses like yours, and, I'm sure I can help you. Or I said, hi, I'm an accountant, been doing it forever, and I work specifically with small businesses who are lawyers, and solicitors. That's my specialist area. Which one do you think, other things being equal, you'd go with? Now, for me, and for 99% of businesses, it would be the specialist. Not only that, but we'd probably pay a little bit more for a specialist who really knows and understands us than we would for a generalist. So that's my first thought. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go and get rid of all your customers because you're now going to specialise in this. But what it does mean, I think anyway, is for you to maybe focus on 1, 2, maybe 3 different niches that you could test in order to see if you can improve your conversion rate, the perception of you, and to become a key person of influence in that market. Does that make sense? I'm hallucinating that it does. And let's go on to the next thing. Now, I just alluded to it a little bit, and that is testing, the word testing. It's one of the most underrated and underused and incredibly powerful terms that there is in marketing. Testing, testing, and testing are probably the 3 most important things that you can do. So what could you test to improve your results? You could test, and I'm talking here right across the board, whether it's your social media posts, your email, your web page, your advert, what you say when you stand up at a networking event, how your stand looks on an exhibition stand, pretty much almost anything. Right? So what could you test? You could test the headline. You could test the words. You could test the use of pictures. You could test videos, having different videos, better videos, different videos with different headlines. You could test the use of testimonials. Is it better to have video testimonials or written testimonials? There are all these things that you can test. Is it better to have it yellow or blue? That could be a test that you did. And one client I know did that test back in the day when he was doing door-to-door leaflet distribution. He did down one side of the street, odd numbers, got the yellow leaflet, and on the other side of the street got the blue leaflet. Why? I don't know. But what I do know is that his return on investment from the blue leaflet was 4 times the yellow leaflet. How's that figure? I got no idea. I don't care. All I know is results. Okay, that's what really matters. So think about what are you going to test. What could you test in terms of what you're doing? Okay, next one, targeting. Who is it you're going to target? And more importantly, once you've decided that and you've gone for that niche, where are they? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Facebook? Do they watch YouTube videos? Where are your target market? There's no point fishing in a pond that's not full of your target market. We want to go and find the right pond for you. Now, I can't tell you what that is. I don't know. I can tell you that, here in the UK, there are 30 million business people and senior people on LinkedIn. That's about half the UK population. And that LinkedIn is arguably the biggest database of business people in the world. So if you're B2B, as in you market to other businesses, there's certainly no better place than LinkedIn. If you're B2C, business to consumer, then, maybe Twitter or Instagram or, Facebook or whatever might be another opportunity for you. Okay, so that's targeted. The next one I've got on my list is content. Right, this is just, I see all the time. This happens to me like every day. I talk to people and I'll say, so tell me a little bit about your marketing and what you do. And they'll say some version of, I'm on LinkedIn and, I post on there once a fortnight. And I've got an email that I'm doing email marketing, and we send out a quarterly newsletter, and we tried things like Google advertising. We got a voucher for 50 quid from Google, and we tried it, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Here lies the problem. We or you and me to some extent are not doing enough. We're not doing enough. I was talking this morning to my results mastery group, and I openly admitted, I said, look, if I honestly told you when was the last time I did a PR campaign out to a load of newspaper, magazine type people that I've got on my database, the answer would be, I don't think I've done one this year. That's a terrible thing for me to admit, but it's true. Why is that? Well, I've been busy. I've been doing other things. And that's really important for you to think about in terms of, what are you spending your time on? Because, we need to do more. We need to do more. We need to do more social media posts. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk, for anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about. One of the world's leading marketing business advisory guys, who, one of the people I learned stuff from. And Gary said that if you're not doing 10 to 15 posts a day on social media, you're wasting your time. Now, that's maybe a little bit exaggerated, arguably, maybe a little bit over the top, but it really goes to show that, you need to take this really seriously. And for those of you thinking, well, that's terrible, he's bombarding people. No, it's not, because most of the people, most of the time, won't be seeing his social media posts. If I do a post right now on LinkedIn, I've got 10,500 contacts, and that post will get seen by about 200 or 300 of them. What's happened to the rest of them? Well, they're not on LinkedIn today. They're doing other things. They're not seeing my posts. And so I need to be on there on a regular basis. I do about 4, 5, 6 posts per day on there. That would be fairly typical. And that wins me, or is actually part of what wins me, over 100 grand a year from LinkedIn. How cool is that? I say that not to impress you, but just to impress upon you. One of my clients won £42 million. That wasn't bad, was it? He spent a day on a LinkedIn workshop, and 6 months later he'd made 42 million quid. That doesn't happen all the time, so just be clear on that. But I suppose what I'm saying here is do more content, send more emails, pick up the phone more often. Because if you don't, you'll get the same results that you've always got. And then you need to work out how to improve what you're doing, right? If you're doing more of it, hopefully you'll get better at it anyway. If you're measuring your results, hopefully you'll realize what you're getting as a return on your investment, so we can start improving, because that's what improving results are all about. It's about understanding where you are, what results you're getting, and then working out what you can do to improve it. So to improve your content, you can put more of it out there, get yourself out there. He who whispers down a well about the things that he can sell will not make those shiny dollars like he who climbs a tree and hollers. So holler. Our biggest problem in small business is one word: obscurity. Nobody's heard of us. Nobody's heard of me. I'm not Tom Cruise or a famous person. I'm known to a small group of people. I'm known to people in the small business market. I've got probably 80,000 people follow me on social media. I've got an email database of about 10,000 people, and I'm doing some advertising and other stuff as well. But in truth, that's just there's 3 million businesses in the UK, and I'm marketing to what? About 100,000 of them? So you understand where I'm coming from here. We need to do more. We need to put more time, more money, and more effort in. So that said, next one, social media. Okay? Social media is such an opportunity for us right now. Yes, we need to do more of it, but also we need to learn it and understand it. I can tell you, whilst I'm doing 4 or 5 posts a day on LinkedIn, that's not where the money comes from. The money doesn't come from, I do a post and people pick up the phone and call me. It happens occasionally, but the main part of the money that I win on LinkedIn comes from picking something else up, and that's called a phone and speaking to people, because I can tell you for a fact that business is a contact sport, right? Business is a contact sport. It doesn't work from sending out loads of emails or posting on LinkedIn. We need to make contact. Pick this phone up and you will make money. Okay, get people onto things like this. We've got, last time I looked, we had about 40 people here today. Plus, as I've said, everything else, that's just on LinkedIn, by the way. And everything else that we're doing, it's about 7,000 people. And so I'm doing my best to get myself out there, providing value, demonstrating my expertise that I know what I'm talking about, in the hope that a few of you, I don't need 7,000, I couldn't cope with that. But if I get 10, 15, 20, 30 people to book in a meeting at the end of today, I'm very happy. I've impressed people enough. They think I can help them enough that it's worth having a meeting. And by the way, you can see below, book a free meeting, 1-to-1. We talk about where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. You can book it on my website, steve-mills.com. There's some big gold buttons there. Just click on one of those. That gives you access to my diary, and you can pick a time that's good for you. It literally couldn't be easier. So you're very welcome. Anybody who's here today who really wants to, don't do it if you're not that bothered about growing your business, but I'm assuming because you're here today, you do want to grow your business. So, I can help you and talk about that. And, I want to be clear, it won't be a sales pitch. It won't be me going, right, well, you need to sign up for my results mastery program. I might say that at the end if I think it, but, I will genuinely try and help you there. So, just to be clear on that. Okay. So the next one on my list is sales funnel, sales maximization. 2 things that you need to do, in my opinion, to improve your sales performance, your conversion rate. You get 100 leads and that equals 50 sales. So if you could get that to 60 sales, that's a 20% improvement, even though it's only a 10% increase. You with me? So we want to be able to do that. So how do we do that? We need to think about training, sales training. I asked a group of salespeople how much training they'd done in the last year. No, I didn't. I asked them, have you done any training in the last year? And out of 1,000 people that I was talking to, about 50 people put their hand up. 50 out of 1,000. I do sales training every day, just a little bit, quarter of an hour. I do it online. It's easy. I've got a program myself. It's called the Results Mastery University. People pay 25 quid a month to access that university, which is full. It's got 250 different training programs on sales and marketing. It's 25 quid for the company, not per person. It's just a no-brainer to me. But anyway, Improve your training. And then the second thing is to improve your system. Or if you haven't got one, which most businesses don't have, then get one. I'm talking about a sales procedure. And if it hasn't got at least, I'm going to say 8, but I'd rather say 12 different steps to it, then, you definitely need to improve it. Okay, so moving on quickly. How much time we got? We've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. I'm going to talk to you about referral, because people say to me, well, we win all our business from referrals, Steve. We win a phenomenal amount of business. Referrals the best form of marketing. I even hear people tell me things like, well, we don't really do any marketing. We just rely on referral, which is actually marketing, but, that's what they tell me. Now, let me be clear about this. If you got 100 people again, and let's say 10 of them are recommending you, you're already winning business from referral. Let's say 2 of them wouldn't recommend you. Nobody's perfect and things sometimes go wrong and, they wouldn't recommend you for whatever reason. What does that leave? That leaves 88 people that would recommend you, but they're not waking up every morning thinking, I wonder who I can recommend Steve Mills to. Why is that? It's because they're busy. It's not because they wouldn't, it's just because they haven't. So we have got to stimulate these people in order to get them to do that. And what we need here is some systems, some processes in place in order to try to develop a referral marketing plan. Now, I have done this with so many businesses, and the results, let's just imagine that we only get 20% of those people to refer you. And let's imagine that out of that 20%, so that's what, it's about, 15 people, something like that. We get an extra, instead of getting 10 people, we get an extra 15 people. For a business that's relied solely on referral for the last whatever it is years, based on 10 customers referring them, if we've now got 25, guess what happens? Well, potentially that could be a 150% increase in the business. Now, in reality, it probably won't work out as good as that, but you can see the value, I'm sure, in having a referral system. It's worth a little bit of time sitting down and thinking about it, or perhaps working with somebody like me to develop something like that and really help you to move things forward. Okay, I'm gonna say this is my last one because I've got a couple of more things, but I want to be respectful of your time. So don't forget, by the way, if you want to book a meeting, go here. So the last one is this. People tell me all the time, well, I've got a website, but it's just a brochure site, Steve, or, we don't really win any business on it. And I'll say, okay, when did you get this? Well, we got a new site last year. Cost us £5,000. Okay, so you've spent $5,000 on something and your return on investment, I'm assuming, is nothing. Is that right? Yeah. But it's all to do with brand awareness, isn't it, Steve? I said, well, I prefer to leave brand awareness to Coca-Cola and Nike. In a small business, I want to get my return on investment. If I'm going to spend $5,000, I'll be looking to get at least 100 back. So let's think about what we can do in order to get more business from your website. Two things that matter with your website. One is traffic. Okay, we've got to get people there. If nobody sees it, nobody's going to buy anything. And yet I see people saying, well, we send out a quarterly newsletter, Steve. I post on LinkedIn, and sometimes I even put a link back to our website. You will never see a post of mine going out on LinkedIn without a CTA, a call to action. Okay, so we yes, we want to be SEO'd. Yes, we might want to do pay-per-click. But I get over 1,000 people to my website every month from LinkedIn alone, let alone about Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and so on and so forth. Over 1,000. What's that cost me? Nothing. Zero. Zip. Nada. Okay, so, we need to do this stuff. We need to drive traffic to your website. Now, there's no point driving traffic to a website that doesn't convert. If you're getting 1,000 people a day, a week, a month to your website and getting no leads, something's wrong. What's wrong with it? Could be the headline, could be the call to action, the CTA. What is the most wanted action on your website? Is that clear? Just at the end of this, when I finish, which will be in about a minute's time, go and have a look at my website, steve-mills.com, and tell me, what is my most wanted action? What is the number one thing I want people to do who visit my website? And then go and do the same thing or something very similar. Model it. Don't copy it, but model the idea behind it. And you can no doubt look at, other examples and other parts of my site and other people's site and work out what you can do to improve the conversion rate of the traffic that is being now pushed into your website in order to make you more money. Okay, so I've come to the end. Hope it was of value. Thank you for your time in being here. Don't forget, I'm doing this pretty much every day. Feel free to join me. If you want to book a meeting, and I'll keep saying it, you're very, very welcome to do so. There's no obligation, no hard sell. Just get yourself booked in. So other than that, all I'd like to say is thank you ever so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I wish you every success in your business. Thanks very much for listening, and speak again soon.